Hello and welcome to the Forgotten Bookshop Girl. My name is Nina and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these flower napkin holders. I got the idea from this book, Christmas Crafting in No Time by Clare Youngs. And let me just show you. It's actually a really nice book with lots of nice ideas. But I really liked this one and I thought I'll give it a go. As in fact, this is the first flower ever made to try it out, but we're going to make another one right now. I'm going to list the title in the comments in case you're interested in getting this book. Right, okay. Maybe I'll just take this off. And as you can see, obviously the petals are made from book pages. And then this is a button. It's one of these buttons I found and I thought that worked quite well. And then just some ribbon. So the first thing we have to do is grab a book. This book is getting quite famous. It's featuring in various of my videos. The template obviously came with the book, but I've already had a look. If you just go on Google Images and just put in flower petal template, you should come up with something really similar to this. And then you can just download it and print it and use it as your template. So let's get some pages out of this book. You'll be needing 6 petals. So all you do is you grab your template. I back this with cardboard because I always find that templates work better when they are made of sturdier material rather than just using the printout. Okay, and then you just trace around it and then grab a pair of scissors. Or what I've done, I've got 2 book pages, so I'll be cutting out 2 petals at the same time. And I've already cut 4 more, so we're ready to go. Okay, so you've got your 6 petals, and the next thing you're going to do is just make a little fold. I hope you can see this. Just a little fold like that. Because that makes the petals sort of curl up a little bit and look more like a flower petal. So if I'm trying, I did it like kind of like that. There you go, second one. Kind of like a little fold in the middle. As you can tell, mine aren't perfectly in the middle. Right, and this one, and the last one. Actually, there's a little bit kind of little edge, and I'll just kind of round it off. There. Okay, so now I'll need some glue. I actually found that a glue stick works really well. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I particularly like using glue sticks for most of my craft projects. But you can use any other glue, and I was actually quite surprised that this one worked really well. Otherwise I would have gone for PVA glue. What I've done, because I found it easier I just glue that little fold in place as well. Then get the next one, and now it's a case of putting the little petals in place. You have to remember what you might want to do before you glue them together is kind of work out where you kind of need to space them so that you get kind of like an even shape. So you might want to do that so you get a rough idea where to place them when you glue them. And then just put a little bit of glue on there and start the next petal on top. You can go either way. You can go, you can stick petals on going around on top, or you can do it by sticking them kind of right at the bottom. And I think I've done both. It really depends on how the shape of the flower is forming. So yeah, I might put this one. Okay. Get the next one. Right, do I want that? Yeah. Top. Make sure that you have enough glue on there to make the petals stick really nicely. Okay, I've got 2 more to go, and I might just check if I'm happy with how things are going, because actually I think that this needs to be a bit closer to the other one. Probably the same with this one. Let's see. And while the glue isn't quite dry, you can obviously still move the petals around. But yeah, so that works. Maybe I'll do one coming in from the top. Like that. And then the last one. You could also, because these flowers are actually quite big and I like them, but I think I might have gone for something a little bit smaller, but it really depends on what you like. Yeah, I think this one should, yep, we can just about do it. There, that's better. And then, oops, and the last one. So there we go. I think I would normally wait for the glue to dry a little bit before I would go on to the next step, but in this case I'll just go for it. So maybe we'll talk about the ribbon first, and then it has a little bit of a chance to dry. What I've realised, what looks really nice, you could use a velvet ribbon, even though I thought in combination the flower, it looked a little bit like a garter, but hey, it still looks nice. Or you could use some lace. That would actually look really, really beautiful if you created these flower napkin holders for a wedding with some lace. That would be really beautiful. Of course, you can go for other colours. Now for Christmas, you could go for some red or green or just whatever your colour scheme is at the table. I went for this bit of kind of like an organza type fabric. I've got loads of this, and I've just cut off a strip and made made a kind of a ribbon out of that because I really like the colour. Okay, also if you don't want to have a button in the middle, you could just cut out a circle of maybe a differently coloured bit of paper and stick it in there, or you could just use, I don't know, silver or gold or yes, or a colour that would go then with the ribbon and your colour scheme. But I quite, when I found these in my button collection, I thought these would be quite perfect, so for a little bit of festive and glittery. Right, now I realise that I need my craft knife, and I better get my cutting mat out. Hang on, I've got a smaller one, but I don't know where that is. Hang on, I'll get the big one out because that's just here. And the reason for me using a knife and a cutting mat is that this button has this little bit at the bottom. If I just had an ordinary button with four, let me just grab an example and just grab any colour. So if I had a button with 4 holes, I could either glue it on. I think in the book it says just glue it on. Probably a hot glue gun would work. I wouldn't use a glue stick because I don't think that would work. Or you could sew it on. So then I would, oops, I would then sew it at the same time as you sew the ribbon on, yeah. So I have to make kind of a little slit in the paper so I can push this through. And that's another reason why I really wanted this to dry. So I'll just see what happens. Make a little... Yeah, I can feel that it's not quite dry yet. Never mind. I also don't want it to be too big. Okay, let's see if I can... Are we getting there? Okay, let's see. Yeah, but normally I would really wait for the glue to dry. Okay, then I can put this away, because the next step is needle and thread. Unless you've got, I think a hot glue gun would probably work quite well. Not sure how you would do it with a button like this, but with the other example, then you just find, but if you're using needle and thread, you just find kind of the middle of your ribbon. I've got a knot at the end, and I just went through so that it would already be attached to the ribbon. This is how I do it because I find it makes life easier. Yeah, and then you don't try and not lose the button. Okay, as long as you don't lose any petals. And then it's just a case of sewing the button to your ribbon. There we go. You know, it doesn't have to look pretty on this. Oh, I actually should go through the buttonhole. That would make sense. You know, it doesn't have to look pretty on this side because you won't really see it. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go for another 2, 4, and 5. And then I kind of just go a few times just through the fabric and through the loop because I'm lazy. There. And then you just cut it off. You could probably, you know, if you wanted to put some glue on there, you could. Anyway, let's turn it around. Ta-da! And you've got it all finished. And then all you need to do is you grab your napkin. Maybe I'll use the other one because I'm still waiting for this one to dry. And you just grab your napkin. And then there's different ways you can just kind of like wind it round a few times depending on how long your ribbon is, or you could just tie a knot and let the ribbon kind of float, or you could tie a bow. It's all up to you. And I do like the idea with adding some ivy to it. That was in the book as well, so you could just add that to your napkin. I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, something like that, or no, or you could just have it kind of like underneath. That. Yeah, and then you can, you know, you just take time and faff around and make it really beautiful. But as you can see, they're not really difficult to make, and they do look so pretty. So there we go. This is the little paper flower napkin holder tutorial. As I said, I'll put the title of the book in the comments. I hope you like this. Maybe I've inspired you to make some paper flowers, and I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.